Hey y'all, it's Kim. So I've got to watch my Lefties Losing It, and I'll share it with you guys. One thing I can take away from everything we've seen over the last, well, few years is that I truly, honestly believe the Democrats hate America. And maybe it's because you know, we enjoy so many freedoms, but they actually kind of want to control you. And so it's kind of like it's opposition or in opposition to what they want. Anyway, so I'm just, after seeing the way some of these people reacted after or during this State of the Union or whatever it was, a joint congressional meeting thing with Donald Trump and all that stuff. I mean, these people, I believe, honestly, I do believe they hate America. But anyway, we'll let you watch all this stuff and then we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, of course, here's Miss Rita giving us Lefties Losing It. I think she goes through like parts of the view and stuff like that. I can't remember. I've watched so many videos today already, and then just yesterday we had a lot of stuff going on. So whatever. Today we got Miss Rita, Lefty's Losing It, State of the Union, whatever you want to say. Let's listen to her.
And it's time for Lefties Losing It. And good news, I have a View extravaganza coming up. But first, let's hear from the View's target audience. You know, those angry, ill-informed Karens. This one is particularly mad.
They brought Zelensky into the Oval Office and attacked him. And you people who are celebrating that.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I know this is ugly, but what is on her forehead? Is that like a pimple or what? Oh my goodness, what is that? Holy moly. Or is that a mole? I mean, I'm not trying to be rude about that, but if it's a pimple, boy, it doesn't look very great covered up, but whatever. Oof.
You.
Wow.
Every one of you.
Not
okay.
actually what happened, but, you know, facts aren't important to the left, as you'll see in the next few clips, because it's time to check in with the dangerously delusional ladies of The View. And I regret to inform you they are increasing in number.
You think about journalists, you think about the reason they're in the press briefing, when you think about the reason they're in the pool, it's called the protective pool. There are 13 members of the pool. I'll try not to get too wonky here. And their job is to provide unbiased information to the American people because the American people deserve that.
Yes, that's former
What? After she stood up there and lied and gaslit America for 4 years? Okay, yeah, sure. Sure. Okay.
White House press secretary and professional liar, Corinne Jean-Pierre, at The View, on The View desk. I wonder, is that a little bit of an audition? As for the American people deserving the truth, you think we've forgotten this?
I've spent sometimes countless hours with him, whether it's in the Oval Office, whether it's on the road. And I believe, for me, you're asking me my personal opinion, he is sharp. He is on top of things.
Sharp and on top of things. Yeah, cool story, bro. And she repeated that lie, I don't know, approximately 5,000 times in recent years. But Corinne has some ways to go to reach the derangement levels needed for a full-time gig on The View as a co-host. Can she reach that pinnacle, the pinnacle set by, say, Whoopi, also known as Karen Johnson? Yes, that's her real name. Here is Karen claiming that Donald Trump is going to break up the marriages of white dudes who've got foreign wives, is going to deport the wives and find new women for the men.
He's not going to say, oh, you're with a white guy, I'm going to keep you from being deported. No, he's going to deport you and put the white guy with someone else. The man is out there.
Oh, Corinne, you have a long way to go to match it with these girls. No, I think that audition is not going to be enough. Now, let's check on Joy Behar, who's still in denial about Donald Trump's enormous mandate, the fact that he won and won comfortably. And here she is schooled by another lefty, but a relatively sane lefty, in Stephen A. Smith.
Going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of Blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a man.
And you wonder why? Because the left has gone, like we said, so far to the left. Transgender stuff. I mean, doing all this stuff towards the kids, the men and women sports. I mean, the border, all the craziness, the Marxism, the DEI woke stuff. I mean, people are just like, they've had it. Because it's just like I say, it's like the white liberals or whoever, progressives, think they have to feel guilty for a lot of things, and then they have to overcorrect this stuff, and it's like it's ridiculous actually. When you look at everything they've done, I mean, there's been so much, it's almost like hard to keep up. But like people have also said, the Democrat Party left them behind versus them leaving the Democrat Party behind, because the Democrat Party of today is not the same ones of like John F. Kennedy and maybe earlier, maybe Bill Clinton. I don't know, because I wasn't in the political sphere. But I mean, they have gone so far like away from what I think they used to fight for. I'm just saying, like free speech. And, they used to be on the college campuses, but now they're on the college campuses, but they're protesting for terrorists and stuff like that, or just whatever the Marxist ideology, socialism, whatever they've got going on. That's another thing. If you go to school for anything, oh my gosh, just be prepared to be indoctrinated. I went for 3 semesters. That was enough for me, because I was actually just kind of going to refresh a little bit on English, stuff like that, as far as writing, literature, blah, blah, blah. I had to take psychology, math, and the English. That was all I was really interested in at that point. But I felt like there was a lot of indoctrination. I didn't know much about the Marxist viewpoint, but now I know about the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. So like your bourgeoisie is your elite class, and then you have your proletariat, which is kind of like the lower class, or the people that are actually like the workers. And so, that's the other thing with the Marxism, is you've got the oppressed and then you've got the oppressors. And so they've just gone super far left. Anyway, sorry. I know that's kind of a rough explanation, but that's where I think they've kind of lost a lot of people, is just the stupidity of some of the things. Just like the other day, I saw some mayor, I think, for Boston, who was actually giving out condolences for a dude that was wielding a knife and was trying to stab people, and off-duty police officer shot him. But okay, so they have the police officer as the bad person, and then this person that was wielding a knife trying to hurt other civilians, yeah, that they were kind of praising him. Or anyway, just it's just stupidity. So anyway, let's let Stephen A. Smith. I don't really care too much for him. I mean, he almost sounds like an independent, or could be a center, whatever you want to say it, center rights, just in his common sense views. But then he says other things that's kind of like, okay, we know you're a little bit lefty. So anyway, we'll listen to him. School these morons on The View. At least they've got a little bit of a balanced view of what's going on. But anyway, I'll shut up. Sorry.
Mandate.
The man was forced to repeat that data, to repeat the obvious, because these ladies just cannot cope with facts.
So 20 years after they last won a popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state, and on top of it, 89% of the counties shifted gifts. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate.
Lefty Stephen A. Smith then had to jump in and correct Whoopi when she claimed that the Democrats are just for helping ordinary people. And listen here as she confirms that all they do on The View, all they really do is just push Democrat talking points.
Let's remind people what those issues
can do that.
are. Making sure that families had what they need, SNAP, making sure stuff is there, making sure that the America that we all grew up in, where you could come and be whoever you were supposed to be or want to be, you still have that right. All these things are the things that the Democrats have always said.
You brought up the message that the Democratic Party was disseminating. I'm challenging you on that. That is not what they were doing. I'm not talking
yes,
about,
it was.
I'm not talking
I
about
was
the
there.
intent.
We did it.
We did it, did we, Whoopi? Didn't work out too well, did it, love? And in their latest episode, the ladies of The View encouraged the Democrats to launch a naked protest against Donald Trump's
Please, God, no.
address to Congress. Oh dear.
Get butt naked and dance around. What should happen? Or should they all wait till the end when freshman Senator Elise Slotnick gives the Democratic response? Anybody?
I think they should walk out en masse.
Naked or clothed?
Naked. I think they should walk out. I think that a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Naked protests, walkouts, they really are overgrown children, aren't they? When will the mass tantrum end? But you know, if the View ladies were really serious about protesting Trump, they'd follow this next woman's example and transform themselves into Zelensky. Watch this.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, she is morphing into Zelensky in a show of solidarity. I don't know, show of lunacy. I can't keep up with the modern left anymore. Let's see if she manages to pull it off. Let's fast forward to the end. There's only so much lunacy I can take. Let's play the last 10 seconds.
Oh my God. What a freaking weirdo.
Stunning and brave as always. You know, the Democrats have reached an all-time low when the likes of Casey Anthony, yes, Casey Anthony, Google her if you're not familiar with her putrid work, when she's pushing their...
Wasn't she accused of murdering her child? I mean, that's what I remember. I don't know if she was ever convicted of that, but whatever. We're really going to listen to somebody that was at least accused of harming her own child. I mean, I don't think they ever found the baby's body. I don't know. I mean, I think she maybe been 3 years old or something. I don't know. Really? Okay, let's listen. Oh, gosh.
Talking points.
As a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me.
Let's bring in...
Hold on. Women's rights? Did y'all see where the Democrats just refused to keep men out of women's sports or boys out of girls' sports? I mean, did y'all not see that recently? Really? The Democrat Party really cares about women? Are you sure about that? Because I don't think that's accurate at all. Anyway, I mean, like, I'm going to listen to her anyway, even if she was accused and nothing ever came of it. You think I'm going to listen to that lady, Casey Anthony? Yeah, okay. Just the thought that she was accused of harming her child. Okay. Yeah. Really, you care a whole lot about women's rights if you actually did kill your own child out of selfishness. But anyway, whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't kept up with her. I just didn't even know she was still like around. I mean, I know she was still alive, but not posting. I mean, if I were her, I would live out the rest of my days in obscurity. Because either way, her reputation is trash. But hey, whatever. Okay, cool.
Journalist and filmmaker Army Horowitz. Army will be looking at the top moments from Trump's address to Congress today. It was an astonishing 2-hour speech. America first, all the way. But let's start with the backflip we have seen from President Zelensky. Before today's address to Congress, President Trump had two enormous wins, huge, significant wins. Yesterday, we were talking on this program about the Ukrainian president saying that the end of the war was, and I quote, very, very far away. That got an immediate reaction from the White House. And today, Zelensky has had a very different message. He now says he's ready for a peace deal and he wants to sign that minerals deal with the US immediately. I mean, the whole thing has been a disastrous miscalculation from his part. And I do wonder whether he's going to secure the deal that was on the table before that Oval Office tantrum.
Look, I've told you before, I'll say it again. I am out of the business of criticizing Trump when he makes crazy statements, right? When he's putting on the crazy, I now say, wait, let's see what the master plan is. Let's see where he's going here. Okay, look, there's this concept in wrestling and pro wrestling called playing the heel, right? Let me tell you what that means. So in wrestling, it's all scripted and you have bad guys versus good guys, right? And the bad guy is called the heel. Now, what is he doing? He understands that he has to play, he's leaning into the left-wing narrative of him being on the side of Putin. Why? Because he's not on the side of Putin. Putin knows that, right? You have to understand what's going on. Putin doesn't trust Trump. The reason why he doesn't trust Trump is because Trump has been one of the most anti-Russian presidents in the history of this country, okay?
Yeah.
Trump not only had sanctions on Russia, Trump also funded, Trump says that he's right, that before him, they were giving them blankets, non-essential, no weaponry. Trump was the first person to actually give and sell weapons to Ukraine to fight against Russia. And more importantly, by the way, than all of those things, that what Trump did was, look, Russia's dependent on one thing, oil and natural gas. When Trump started pumping drill, baby drill, and was pumping oil and natural gas out of our country, that dropped the prices for those natural resources around the world, killing the Russian economy. He was not a pro-Russian president. So Putin is
absolutely. Army, he was in Germany, he was across Europe in his first term, telling them stop buying Russian oil, stop being dependent on Russian energy. And they laughed at him. They did not listen. But he's got what he wants, it seems now. He's got the minerals deal. We're one step closer to a peace deal. And he's also got Europe to spend more on defense. So it's a win on three fronts. And another foreign policy win for the Trump administration is, again, you were one of the few political commentators, Army, who picked precisely what Trump was doing when he said he'd take over Gaza, move out the population, rebuild it. You understood the strategy, and overnight, Arab leaders adopted an Egyptian reconstruction plan for Gaza. And that's going to cost some $53 billion, and it will avoid Trump's plan of displacing Palestinians from the area. So, as you said, Army, it's all about outcomes.
Thank you for acknowledging that, Rita. Yes, of course. That was the play. Look, again, for a sports analogy, when you play sports, when you run a play that's working, good coaches run it over and over and over again until the defense can figure out a way to stop it, okay? Trump's playbook is go crazy, right? Just do the crazy until they figure out what you're doing, and nobody has, right? Otherwise they would stop it, but they haven't. And when he said, I'm going to rebuild and I'm going to throw them all out and I'm going to build hotels, they believed it. And what did he do? he like when he got the Europeans to pay more for self-defense when it comes to Ukraine. He now got the regional players who have a vested interest in what's going on to pony up the money. Enough. Why should America fund this when it's the people living in the area who have to deal with this issue? And now they're ponying up, like you said, tens of billions of dollars. I'll point out one quick thing is that they're doing the first phase is $20 billion for $220,000 in housing for the Palestinians, which, by the way, is way better than the $60,000 per tent San Francisco was going to pay for the homeless people. Even the Arabs are more effective in their spend than California City Council is when they're spending on the homeless population.
Everyone's more effective than California. Let's talk about now Trump's address to Congress. This really was something like I've never seen before. I've seen plenty of addresses to Congress, plenty of State of Union addresses, but this was just 2 hours of pro-America shock and awe. The spirits were high. You can see we've got a standing ovation for everybody. Melania got a standing ovation. Donald Trump walked in high spirits. And he started his speech with this.
America is back. 6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
American spirit, the confidence, the dream, and the Democrats, I've got to say, were determined to disgrace themselves, Army. I'm interested in your take on this. There was a loud booing at the very start. They were hissing like alley cats. And listen to the interruption here, and then the response from the rest of the folks there who started.
So this is why I said at the very, very beginning that I feel like that the Democrats hate America. They would rather boo or hiss or whatever, scream, holler, go on, all these CNNs and MSNBCs and talk noise about anything that good that Trump's trying to do for the country. I mean, they'd rather do all of that than just acknowledge, okay, he's doing what's best for the country. I mean, he's doing a lot of things on behalf of America, but they hate America that much in general, but they really hate Trump. So anything good that he accomplishes, they're going to have a problem with it. I saw a meme the other day, and I wish I had pulled it up, but it was supposed to be like where Trump's giving a speech, and it says, sweet oxygen, sweet oxygen, or something like that. And then it showed like the next to it, a liberal with the bag over their face. Like they would rather kill themselves or whatever, not breathe oxygen because Trump said something about oxygen. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is. I've even said that if Trump went into a burning building to save a little child, they'd probably be like, well, why was he in the building? Why was he even anywhere near it? Or, why did he have something to do with the codes of the building for it to catch on fire or something stupid like that? I mean, that's how like the TDS works as far as the left. They have such a disdain for this man. And I know, like some people call it, it's an antibody response. Trump is coming. He has disrupted the swamp. All this money that Doge is figuring out. They know that the Democrats use it as a slush fund, or they're sending stuff to other countries that have nothing to do with America. Nothing at all. And the stuff they're sending it for, it's woke ideology. So LGBTQ, whatever the alphabets, gay stuff, transgender. I mean, it's like, why do we need to fund these kinds of things? What would be the point of that? My estimation is the reason that they would do it is to depopulate. Because obviously, 2 men or 2 women or somebody that's transgender and has taken body parts away cannot reproduce. That's just a biological fact. Yes, you could adopt. You could do surrogate with one of the women or whatever. Get a surrogate to be your baby's mother, incubator, whatever you want to call it. I mean, birthing person. Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever the Democrats want to call it. I know there was somebody recently that's instead of calling it a mother and father, they were calling it like an inseminator and the birthing person. So anyway, but that's what I say. This whole woke ideology stuff. Anyway, I'll shut up. But like I said, the Democrats hate America. It's very obvious they do because they can't really control the masses at this point, especially when you have like this mandate of the election. And that's why I believe they were importing a lot of these illegal aliens. And that's what it says, calls it, I believe, in the Constitution, an illegal alien and in our laws. So anyway, yeah, they hate America, and it's very obvious. You know, you just have to watch just their reaction during this State of the Union or whatever this address thing is for the joint parts of the Congress thing. But anyway, I'll shut up. I'll let it go back. But anyway,
USA chat.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Oh, in the end, Al Green, as we saw there on the screen, he had to be escorted out. I mean, it really was an unseemly little protest, obviously a planned little stunt. But how did you think the Democrats went there? Because they wouldn't even clap, they wouldn't even acknowledge all those emotional moments where there's victims of crime there who are being acknowledged, where there's heroes being acknowledged, where there's a little kid who's survived brain cancer and is being made an honorary member of the Secret Service. They couldn't even bring themselves to put a smile on their faces and clap for that.
Yeah, Al Green being tossed out. Let's not stay together.
Oh,
okay,
no.
sorry, different Al Green. That I will never sing again.
Different.
I'm sorry, Rita. I'll never do that again. Look,
oh no.
it was so childlike and willful behavior by the Democrats. I've never seen anything like it. They brought rocks, right? Like a second-rate carrot top. I mean, it was so weird and gross.
Second-rate
Look,
carrot
you know,
top.
in all the years I've been seeing, and by the way, you know, look, he went through all the hits. I love teleprompter Trump, right? He went through all his greatest hits for the last 30 days, and that's why I guess this was the longest speech in the history of a president talking to joint Congress. But no, it was grotesque that they could not acknowledge anything, even things you would think seemingly they would agree on, right? He talked about how he's going against the Mexican cartels. Dead silence. You mentioned that 13-year-old kid who has got cancer. Silence. Look, and I've seen when Biden I paid attention when Biden spoke at his State of the Union. When he was introduced, you saw the Republicans stand up and clap because he's their president. The Democrats could not do it. It was such a grotesque display of petulant behavior, and it really spoke poorly of the party. It really did.
It did, and I think they're going to pay a price for that. I think it was just a miscalculation again. You've got to pick your battles, and if he's praising or acknowledging heroes, people who are universally admired or there's universal sympathy for them, why would you set yourself aside from that. It's just anti-American. Now, Trump did boast about his administration's achievements, including on the illegal immigration crisis.
Illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
And he called on the Democrats to be on the pro-America team.
And I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad.
That shot of them sitting there with sour looks on their faces, holding up their little signs, Musk steals. I mean, really, that's about the most incoherent sight I can imagine. He succeeded there in painting the Democrats as being against not just his success, but America's success.
He brilliantly put them in a box, right? He really put them in a trap, and they walked right into it, right? And it played out exactly as he wanted to set out. So, kudos to him. Look, if I can say one thing positive of the Democrats, right? I guess I'm going to try. Look, Elise Slotkin's response, I thought was one of the better responses I've heard in a very long time. But she stood. What's funny was that she stood in direct contrast to what we saw in the chamber. That's the thing. It didn't comport to the behavior we saw by the Democrats. It almost sounded like she wasn't a Democrat, right? That was so interesting about it. That was not the way they were playing it. It was so weird they had her speak. I thought she spoke well.
Well, there was a lot of standing ovations. I stopped counting them because I lost track. There was someone I'm sure would have kept a count, but Elon Musk was acknowledged. He got a big call out. It's obvious that Trump is happy to elevate him. There's no jealousy there, like the media's pretending that there's some sort of rivalry there and he hates the attention Elon Musk gets. He elevates Elon Musk at every given opportunity, and he read out some of the savings that Elon's team has made and some of the programs they've axed.
$45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
And he hit on the big stuff. He read out the letter from President Zelensky. It was a very polite, respectful letter, I've got to say, very different to his conduct in the Oval Office. So
if you saw the videos about Zelensky, I mean, he was being very, very disrespectful, and that's why I got called out for it. But anyway, I know the left is going on and on. They were so rude to him. Oh, he's a bully, blah, blah, blah. Trump and Vance are both bullies. La, la, la. Anyway, no. He's come back around because I'm sure Europe's not going to be able to provide him what he actually needs and whatever. I mean, they have, like they said, more skin in the game, so they do need to step up and help him out if that's what they're trying to do, even though Trump's trying to get this whole thing shut down because they need to stop killing. But anyway, yeah. It's just nuts. Yes, let's finish this up and then I'm going to go relax for the rest of the afternoon. I worked early this morning. Anyway.
That was another big win. And we talked about DJ. That was really, I thought, one of the really heartwarming moments that you'll remember from this address to Congress.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Oh, it was adorable, and he gave a big hug to the Secret Service chief. I know you can be rather cynical, Army, but even you must have just got a warm glow watching that.
Wow, come on, Rita. No, look, I'm not an ad. I'm not heartless. I mean, look, the truth
You
is,
don't like the Democrats who sat there and refused to clap that poor boy who has just done such enormous work battling this awful cancer, and he's defied all the odds, and he was so happy to be there, and they couldn't even just put their hands together for him.
That's terrible.
Rita, I gotta be honest. I was kind of jealous. I want to be a Secret Service agent. I mean, but he deserves it more than me. So fair.
We all do. We all do, Army. Army Horowitz, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Anyway, that's Lefties Losing It. I may try to. Oh, there's a little boy. Aw. Anyway, I may try to get that whole video together or whatever, play it. I just don't. I'm tired. I'll just be honest with you. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. I hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday. And anyway, see y'all around. Don't be a Democrat. Don't hate on America. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you. Bye.